Crown him with many crowns.
Too soon. I don't know if we should talk about this now or later.
Okay.
Because it was an hour later.
It was an hour later?
I don't know if it was that candy, but it was that type of candy.
I hear it was sabotage.
Jonathan White, 1, Zach 0. He got me good. Got me good. Sunday school.
Yeah.
You know what? Just trying to be a good citizen of the kingdom.
Okay.
I was coming right from a prayer meeting. An extra prayer meeting early in the morning. We had some time to kill in between prayer meeting and Sunday school.
Absolutely.
And I'm just walking around, and I just see a bowl of candy.
And did it say this is only for Jonathan's class?
It did not.
No signs. It was just open to anyone, right?
It was right next to notes on 1 Peter. So little hints. And this is the thing that kills me. I don't like candy, really. I don't like it. Like, it's fine. It was like something to do.
Yeah.
Because I was just walking around talking to people. Like, I just had time to kill. I was like, don't even like these things. Popped one of those bad boys in my mouth. And next thing I know, I'm pulling out a crown. And it's never happened before. And it's like one of those things, you hear the warnings, like, oh, don't, milk duds, don't do it. I said, I'm invincible.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like that unbreakable. Like
and
that
it turns
Tom
out
Hanks.
very breakable. Clear. All it took was a couple of chews. Didn't even get close to being done. Almost didn't believe it. I was like, oh, there's my crown. Trey Hawk was kind enough to say, Zach, when you get a little bit older, you got to be worried about these things. Before long, you'll be switching to butterscotch, some Werther's Original, because you can't risk those things. Like, thanks, Trey.
Yeah, I actually have a couple crowns as well, and but I've not had that. I did have one. This is why I asked you.
Because you have that.
Does it snap? Because I had one crown that was put on by a dentist, and every now and then it would just kind of lift. And I would talk to my other dentist, and they would kind of talk about, oh, it's fine. And finally I was like, no,
it's weird.
You need to check this out because it's lifting up again. But basically, what I've been told about fillings or crowns is if something can pull them off, you need to have it re-cemented anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking back, I think like a couple months ago, I was on a work trip in Florida, and when you're on a work trip and you have like a per diem to use, you're obviously going to try to use it. And I was like at a Cold Stone Creamery, because there's no better way to spend $15 on an ice cream or something, And I did have I was thinking, I don't know if this is related or not, but something with like a lot of caramel in it.
Yeah.
And I felt it like tug at my tooth, but I was like, and I was almost like surprised. Like I was like, it was crazy, but nothing happened. But maybe it was that like was loosening it up for that. Yeah. That one came in and just got me.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the crown was intact really well.
Yeah. And so you just got some super glue. Put it on.
Patched it up myself. Went to the dentist, and they're like, everything's great. They just, put some cement on there. It was like $70, which I was like, that's a win.
Yeah.
That is the best. But they did tell me like, hey, once this starts happening, like it's probably going to be good. But they're like, could be good for 5 months, could be good for 5 years. But it's like
50 years, 5 centuries. You just don't know.
You just don't know. So I'm like, oh man, dodge the bullet, because I don't know what a crown costs these days. But man, this is post COVID, and they already were expensive before COVID.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah. Don't want none of that.
Well, pretty good. So, how was Jonathan's class?
Yeah, well, I guess punishment fits the crime, because I was not in Jonathan's class. I just took the candy and ran. And that's what I get. And then on top of it,
did you have a job in another class?
Yes. So I did have response. I feel terrible, because I would be upset if it were me. Had responsibilities to nothing hard, just press play, just get the video going. And I was really concerned about like getting my appointment to the dentist. Like I was hoping. Like, this dentist is open on the weekend, just on Sundays, open on Saturdays. I was like, maybe, and I was like, so I was like looking at multiple dentist offices. See if I could I was like, I just hate having this like this. Let's get it done. Don't want to miss work. And in the midst of it, I was like, oh, Michael's been teaching for 5 minutes. He probably wants this on video. And I just raised my hand in the middle of it, and I was like, hey, can I borrow your face to scan in? It was good. Didn't shake up Michael at all, but I felt terrible. It didn't
faze me, because we had really been talking about just review stuff.
It was review. I feel there was review, but still, it's like, oh, that's like...
it was the best part of the class. And the people online are never going to see it. I still haven't uploaded those as sermon audio, so I need to do that. And I guess I could... The last time I taught, I uploaded them like on a Saturday to our channel, so if you want to...
Yeah, I guess we could do that, yeah. Might as well. The more the merrier. But dental stuff is not my favorite.
Oh yeah.
I don't like the dentist. Not that I like hate them, but it's just
Jill was a dental assistant.
makes sense now.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That's why every time I walk near, I'm like I shudder a little bit.
Kaylin is a dental assistant.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So there are some good ones out there, I guess.
And then Jill's cousin is a dental hygienist.
Wow. Yeah. Did Jill enjoy your time in that line of work?
She loved the industry.
It's like hate the sin, love the sinner kind of thing.
I think she got nervous a couple times because, if you've been to the dentist, and hopefully you have, like your regular cleanings, that's the hygienist.
That's right.
But for what the assistant does is they call it four-handed dentistry because the dentist's two hands and your two hands.
Okay.
And you're like basically getting the instruments and stuff, and you're doing the suction when there's like fillings and crowns and stuff. And she was always afraid her hand was going to cramp up and like bump his hand and like while he's like,
like take out a tongue.
yeah. But
That is pressure. Yeah, that's true.
she eventually, I guess his front office person left.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Jill is just such a person.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
that she moved up to the.
Oh, nice. And she was
just a receptionist from then on out. Not just she was the receptionist.
Sounds like you're taking a shot at. If you're I am so
I meant to
sorry.
say
If you're a
she
receptionist
just
out
filled
there.
that role from then on out. Not that she was.
Yeah, like they
just,
don't. You're saying like they just don't do much,
not what I'm
right?
saying.
Is that you want that on a T-shirt? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but she had to handle like all the insurance and stuff, and and billing and stuff, and call people and be like, "Hey, we need your money."
Oh, I bet that's a big thing because no one likes to pay their bills, and then you remind, especially when they're on payments or it's a lot of money.
I will tell this story.
Can't wait.
Don't be mad at me, Jill. But you know how how there's different alpha numeric things for different systems. For the military, I know the military, like it's Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot. If you're if you're going to use that to spell out someone's name, and then the policemen have like Adam. I don't know. They're all like male names. Charles, Daniel, Edwards, and stuff. And and she would, talk to these insurance people, and they would spell something out and they would use it. And but she just thought it was just like random. Like I'll just make
up your own.
Just make up your own. And so she was like always trying to be creative, but then she was noticed that like they were always using the same one, and it dawned on her that that they should be
I honestly I respect it. That's great because because you can. I mean, I'm with Jill on this. I think more people should make up
She'd
their
be
own.
like elephant. E as in
You're
elephant.
like trying to think on the fly.
S as in spaghetti.
Honestly, that's way more fun, and we should do that. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. All right.
I love it.
So basically, you're saying, well, let me just ask. Sunday morning, were there any witnesses to you getting this an hour later?
Oh, Chris Hawk. Chris Hawk saw me. We talked about him, and he was like...
And Trey, I guess.
Well, I talked to Trey in the aftermath. Okay. Chris was right there. I was like... and I was... Maybe it was like... someone else was there. There were two witnesses. And I made this joke like, should I take this? Not in the Sunday school class. And Chris... I don't know. Chris, he started talking about the history of now and later. He was like, oh, these were like when I was in youth group. That's what you would get, like now and later or whatever they are. I was like, they've been doing these a long time.
I remember now laters. I remember, I'm going to sound like an old person. I remember walking from my grandparents' house across the railroad tracks downtown Bald Knob. And there was this little corner store called Butler's, I think.
Okay.
And they don't even make them anymore. They would have, Jolly Ranchers, like this, the kind that are like small.
Yeah.
Then they would have the kind that are like maybe half the size of a ruler. I think those are
Jolly
still made.
Rancher, half the size of a ruler?
Yeah, but thin. You never seen these?
I don't know if I've seen these.
They look like if you took a ruler.
It's Jolly Rancher brand.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You took a ruler and like cut it at 6 inches, and it's like thin like that too. And then they had some that are like 3 inches, like maybe a quarter of a ruler.
Wow.
And I would get change, and I would like nickels.
Oh, I see
dimes.
what you're saying. Like these kind of things?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have seen these. Okay, I don't know why this was blowing my mind. I'm just not used to Jolly Ranchers being this way.
Yeah. And, quarter. I would beg my grandmother for a quarter, and then you could go buy like 3 or 4 different pieces of candy and eat them. And Now or Later's was one of them. So
Now or Later's, there you go. Well, it got me. Never again. It's like I don't even like those things.
I like
got
them.
me. So I mean, it's like
Now
fine.
Later's,
Like they're fine.
Laffy Taffy. Now Later's are more likely to pull because they're very viscous. They're very.
They'll get you.
Yeah.
Cool. So that was my weekend, Sunday and Monday.
So you got it done yesterday?
Got it done yesterday.
Sweet.
Good to go.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right, so you had 2 witnesses to your act of treachery against Jonathan.
It's it was very apocalyptic. But the world was spinning, crazy things were happening. I saw visions of beasts
calling down fire or anything.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, it felt like that when my world was just upside down.
Yeah.
But there were 2 witnesses mentioned in Revelation, very prominent.
Yeah. And we have their names, so we know exactly who they are.
There's no disagreement. So I'm excited to get into this. Who doesn't love a good Revelation podcast?
I mean, no one doesn't love it.
Well, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and take it to the next level. From the hearts of the Low Country in South Carolina,
it's the Take 2 podcast, where we take theology to the next level. 2 witnesses of Revelation. This is based off of a paper I wrote long ago.
Yeah.
So I gave this paper that I wrote to Chat, and I said, "Hey,
dude,
turn this into an outline." So hopefully none of our listeners are concerned about that. So this is original stuff that I just had.
So what class was this for? Was it for like were you going through the book of Revelation, or is it like you picked what was
probably New Testament 2 or something?
Okay,
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look and see. I just have a folder of a whole bunch of papers I wrote. So sometimes I'm looking through those and I'm like, oh, that we could podcast on that. So.
I love it. And your school, Southeast is South SES. What is it? SAS. Southern.
Evangelical.
See, I hate
Seminary.
It's great. No, that's good. But it's like everything Southern, or it makes it hard to keep it straight.
Southern Evangelical and Southeast Seminary. Is it? What is it? Southeastern.
There is Southeastern. Yeah, Southeastern.
Yeah,
would be like an SBC school.
Yeah.
Well, tell me this. So they don't have do they take a stance on like end times and that kind of thing? It's pretty broad. It's like evangelical, or is it like pigeonholed a certain way?
Individual professors have beliefs that might share with you, but as a school, they don't. It's
open. So people could be writing papers from any perspective as long as it's orthodox.
Yeah, this is one of those times when I look back and I'm a little bit embarrassed because we had to read their doctrinal statement and say whether we agreed with it or not. And if we couldn't agree with it, what we disagreed with and why, which I appreciated.
That's good to pay attention.
And so part of their thing was the imminent return of Christ. And I put in there that I wasn't sure that the return of Christ was imminent because I thought that there were some things that had to be fulfilled before he returns. And the word that they used for imminent was meant the bodily return of Christ, not it could be any time imminent. And so
we need
you look
different
back
words.
and you go, okay, I felt foolish after writing that.
And you're like, gotcha. I was just testing you. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the only thing that I remember from their view on the end times. Yeah.
Cool. I was just curious because Revelation is such.
It's an easy book to understand.
Yeah, it's really elementary. It's
I
like
think our ladies are actually going through it for their Bible study.
They
right?
are. I'm
on
really
Tuesday
curious.
Mornings.
It's like a Jen Wilkins study. I'm really curious. Does it really just focus on the beginning?
Moore?
we need more Beth Moore. It's great. It's great. Where it's like such a fascinating book. I think a lot of people either really lean heavy into it or lean away from it. Maybe like the first bit of it, and then it's like, I don't know if we have to caveat. It's hard to.
It is
walk
difficult.
That line. You want to preach with conviction, and you also don't want to like overemphasize stuff. Revelation, I can see being challenging because you got to stick with something, but you can't caveat everything. But you can't say everything's dogmatic. It's a tough one.
If you believe this, then this is how you're going to interpret it, and if you believe this, then this is how you're going to interpret it.
That's no way to do it.
And it's like you can't really. Yeah. When I was younger, I really leaned into it. And while I was always a post-tribber, I believe there was an actual millennial reign. So I would read the Left Behind books and stuff.
I remember
but then
reading
the Left
those,
Behind books, they became like a soap opera or something. It's like they just try to drag that thing on to make money.
Get that money, Tim
Yeah.
LaHaye, or whatever your name was. They made like a kids version of it too.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I was like probably 4th through 8th grade or something, that was like prime time for these kids, and they had like 25 of them, but they were like very small, like short.
Yeah.
But they were again, they just kept going and going and going, and it's like, where did we? I think they started out maybe, and it just where they end up, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. All right, so
Tim LaHaye, I should say, I think he's a Bob Jones grad.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm not even joking. Might be. I'm not. I don't want to speak out of turn here.
My eldest daughter, Chloe, is the protagonist, one of the protagonists in the Left Behind series.
Nice. That's where she got
at
her
that
name.
point in time, I did not know how to pronounce it, so I'm reading this in my mind. I am pronouncing it Chelo the whole time, mentally in my mind. Until I talk about it with my other people at Word and Baptist, and then I said something like Chelo, and they're like Chelo, and they started laughing at me. And they're like, "You mean Chloe?"
Me Chloe. Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those, if you don't like have a Chloe in your life that you're like writing it down, it maybe doesn't.
And now it seems so natural.
It's great.
It's a Greek word, so therefore the ch is a k. But if you don't know that, you don't know that.
Dude, Tim LaHaye, baby, Bob Jones grad, 1950.
There you go. Wow.
Yeah.
Graduated in 1950.
Got his Bachelor of Arts in 1950.
Wow.
I know. I was like,
wow.
oh my goodness. Look.
My parents were born in 1950.
Look at that guy. Look at that.
He's not
man.
alive anymore, right?
He died at age of 90 in 2016.
Okay. All right.
So
About to say.
there you go.
Well, maybe we should read the text.
Could be good. Yeah.
That is foundational to our discussion today. The two witnesses of Revelation. This is a curiosity. Well, I guess it's more than a curiosity because it's in God's Word. But I say that it's a curiosity because we don't have a lot of details other than what I'm going to read you. And so we kind of try to, figure out what is being said here. So this is Revelation 11. And I'll just start in verse 1. It says, "Then there was given me a measuring rod like a staff, and someone said, 'Get up and measure the temple of God and the altar and those who worship in it. Leave out the court which is outside the temple, and do not measure it, for it was given to the nations, and they will tread underfoot the holy city for 42 months. And I will grant authority to my two witnesses, and they will prophesy for 260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the two olive trees and the two lampstands that stand before the Lord of the earth. And if anyone wants to harm them, fire flows out of their mouth and devours their enemies. So if anyone wants to harm them, he must be killed in this way. These have the power to shut up the sky so that the rain will not fall during the days of their prophesying, and they have power over the waters to turn them into blood and to strike the earth with every plague as often as they desire. When they have finished their testimony, the beast that comes up out of the abyss will make war with them and overcome them and kill them. And their dead bodies will lie in the street of the great city, which mystically is called Sodom and Egypt, where also their Lord was crucified. Those from the peoples and tribes and tongues and nations will look at their dead bodies for 3.5 days and will not permit their dead bodies to be laid in a tomb. And those who dwell on the earth will rejoice over them and celebrate, and they will send gifts to one another, because these two prophets tormented those who dwell on the earth. But after the 3.5 days, the breath of life from God came into them, and they stood on their feet, and great fear fell upon those who were watching them. And they heard a loud voice from heaven saying to them, 'Come up here.' Then they went up into heaven in the cloud, and their enemies watched them. And in that hour there was a great earthquake, and 1/10 of the city fell. 7,000 people were killed in the earthquake, and the rest were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe is past. Behold, the third woe is coming quickly." So we probably don't actually need a podcast anymore.
It's just so clear.
So clear.
So clear. No, that is good. It's good to read the text, and many of you might be familiar with this, maybe not. But there's a lot of words and numbers that probably catch your eye. That you're like, oh, these are similar. They're patterns.
3.5 days.
Yeah.
Half of the tribulation. So like those 3.5 days are symbolic one way or the other. Either they are symbolic of the half of the tribulation, or it is saying that these people, were dead for maybe the first half of the tribulation. Because there are people who don't take these as literal people.
Yeah, right.
And they do come right after him talking about the outer courts being for the nations.
Yeah, so that's another interpretation
Yeah.
you'll hear. Nations, and then you even hear, I mean, we'll get into it, like, oh, there's blood, plagues, like your mind goes different places. So I like in the notes, at least where it starts up, let's try to get our bearings, our context. We're kind of smack dab in the middle of Revelation, kind of.
Yeah.
And depending on, different ways you can read Revelation, is it like one, we're going chronologically? Is it like we got 4 or 5 recapitulations? If you did that, some would probably say that chapter 11 is the end of a recapitulation, and chapter 12 with the woman and the dragon kind of restarts the story. So in one, if, like maybe an all-mill view, it's almost like this is the end of time, like really end of time kind of thing.
Right, and so just to kind of expound on that way of, because the first time I heard you tell me this, I was not tracking what you were laying down. I don't think. So you could be, let's just say, a literalist with respect to the millennial reign.
Okay.
That there will be 1,000 years reign, and let's say you could be a literal 7-year tribulation, followed by at least 1,000-year reign, maybe longer than 1,000-year reign. So either one of those things could be the case, or you could be an all-mill or a post-mill. And I think you could be any of those stripes and still have different ways that you read this. So some people would read the bells. Did I say, is it bells?
It's not bells.
The trumpets, the
seals
bowls.
or bowls. Yeah.
And
is it seal?
Seals.
Is that,
yeah. You could read those as serial events. So is it all the seals and then
I think seals are first,
trumpets and then the bowls?
You might be right.
And like the sixth of the sixth one of the seals
opens up. Yeah.
Oh no, the seventh one of the seals opens up the next 7, and then the 7th of that opens up the next 7. So some people view these as these events, and just happening across the tribulation. Some people would say this is basically telling the story 3 times.
That's right.
From 3 different perspectives.
And maybe it's like intensifying. Yeah, like the heavenly perspective. Yeah, you get these, and maybe it's crescendoing. And their argument might be, well, you only can lose a third of the stars so many times. Like there's only so many of these things.
You can lose a third of the. Well, actually,
no. It goes.
You could lose mathematically. You could keep losing a third of the stars.
So
a third of what's left. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But they're like, it's so cataclysmic all the time. It's like, aren't we gonna? Do we run out of people at some point? Or I don't know. You know.
And I think so. So I think it's possible that you could believe there's a 7-year tribulation and think that it is straightforward, or it's the cycle,
or it could be that recapitulation.
Or even if you thought it was symbolic, it could be these things could be either way. So the more I have entertained this idea, the more I think maybe it's likely, because it's weird that this woman shows up in front of the dragon again. You're like, this is so out of place. It seems like, why would this show up in the middle here?
Yeah, it's weird. You look at it, and the more I read it, I kind of do like this recapitulation, but the way it recapitulates, it doesn't perfectly. There's a couple times you're like, that's not perfect, and I don't know. It is a challenging thing. So anyway, we're kind of about. This comes right before a 7th trumpet,
right?
Like as we're setting the context too.
Yeah. And so, like we said, timing theories, first half of the tribulation, John Clay's, only within the trumpets, Damon Duck, a parenthetical interlude, William MacDonald. So those are different commentators on the Bible. And so the takeaway is there's not a consensus as to when this happens.
That's a good point. So talking about these 2 witnesses seem pretty prominent. A lot is placed on them. And then we get some imagery around it that at least gets us thinking a little bit. 2 olive trees, lampstands. We some Old Testament imagery that you're probably connecting.
If you wanted to convict someone, you had to be on the testimony of 2 or more witnesses.
Yeah, so that's also just a theme in of itself.
So
that means
God
something.
sends 2 witnesses to the earth, and basically he's like, I'm observing everything. I am convicting you of these evil doings. So there's kind of connection to this Mosaic law.
No, yeah, that's really good. So if you're automatically thinking Mosaic law.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then there's some other things that, could be connected. The 2 olive trees and the lampstand back in Zechariah 4. Maybe we should turn to that and just read that. I will never find Zechariah because I got to sing that song.
What a good name. Zechariah.
Nahum, Zechariah, Hananiah, Zechariah, and Malachi. Let's see.
Zechariah 4.
You found it? All right.
I found it. Vision of a golden lampstand. It's not super long, but it's 14 verses.
Yeah, maybe if we can just find the, maybe read a little bit and we'll go from there. You got it?
I'll go. I'll start in verse 1. And the angel who talked with me came again and woke me like a man who was awakened out of his sleep. And he said to me, what do you see? I said, I see and behold a lampstand, all of gold, with a bowl on top of it and 7 lamps on it, with 7 lips on each of the lamps that are on top of it. And there are 2 olive trees by it, one on the right of the bowl and the other on its left. And I said to the angel who talked to me, what are these, my Lord? And the angel who talked with me answered and said to me, don't you know what these are? I said, no, my Lord. Then he said to me, this is the word of the Lord to Zerubbabel. Not by might or by power, but my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. Who are you, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel, you shall become a plain, and he shall bring forward a top stone amid shouts of grace to it. You want to keep going?
No, I think that's good.
Yeah.
So maybe the illusion here is not clear, but this was in a commentary where someone was saying that basically these 2 witnesses may be like these 2 olive trees that are standing on either one of these lampstands, and kind of harkens back, has that same
I will mention this.
Yeah,
as I'm scanning ahead, the word of the Lord came to Zechariah and talked about Zerubbabel, laid the foundation of his house and these kind of things, and says the 7 eyes are of the Lord. Eventually, he's going back and forth. What are the 2 branches of the olive trees which are beside the golden pipes from the golden oils poured out? He said to me, don't you know what these are? And again, Zechariah's like, no. And he said, these are the 2 anointed ones who stand by the Lord of the whole earth. Yeah. So kind of bringing it back to that at the end too.
Right. So this idea that, maybe they are anointed and they're watching. So it's hard to, someone was asking me, it was Isaac's wife. And she was saying, can you explain to me some of the prophets, because I'm reading them? And I'm like, no, I can't. I was like, I read Isaiah, and it's hard to know. Are you talking to Israel? Are you talking about the church? You're talking about so it's hard. Sometimes it is difficult to put some of these smaller things together. Olive oil imagery, crushed before flowing, foreshadowing their martyrdom. So this, the olives are crushed and the oil flows out. So just different ideas that are connected to, maybe some images from the Old Testament. Who are these people?
Man, that would help out a lot.
Yeah.
I think if you're reading the text, we see they have the power to shut the sky so that no rain may fall during the days they're prophesying. That
Sounds
makes you think that you're like, Elijah, yeah.
Or Chinese weather tampering. One of those 2, if it's nations,
One of those 2. Yeah, that just falls out really nicely. Where you're like, okay, that's interesting to have that power. Then they have the power over the waters that turn them into blood and to strike the earth with every kind of plague. And so you kind of think
Moses,
that's naturally maybe where your mind would go. And I know growing up in the church I did, that was kind of, we did preach on Revelation, and that was kind of like the go-to or the consensus.
Yeah. The other argument that I heard, and it's not necessarily, you're just trying to think through.
Yeah.
There's a verse in the Bible that says it's appointed it's appointed unto every man once to die.
Yeah.
And then the judgment. Well, we have 2 people
that
are recorded who did not die natural deaths.
Ooh. And one of them
is Elijah.
Yeah, so that
okay. Fits. Yeah. But the other one is not Moses, it's Enoch.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe some have argued for Enoch as being Elijah and Enoch. So maybe John the Baptist got some votes for him because Jesus says he has the spirit of Elijah. Any other
an entertaining angel? Not just any angel, entertaining angel.
Yeah.
That's great. It's good.
And then like you said, some people view this as not actual people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that it could be Israel, the church, the law and prophets. Maybe it's some historical figure, James and Peter, law and the temple. Maybe it's two nations that God is using, symbolically through this.
Yeah, it's tough to be dogmatic.
Yeah. So looking at what they do, their ministries and their miracles, like you already said, there's power over the rain, power over plagues and water to blood, fire from their mouths.
Yeah, that's a phrase you also, can find in Scripture a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Think of the sons of thunder trying to call fire down from heaven.
Yeah. Maybe think
James
of that.
and John.
That's good.
An entertaining note. It's like God gives them a mashup of Moses and Elijah's highlight reels.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that specific language is used, and then, Moses and Elijah elsewhere are kind of paired together, that kind of thing. So it's like maybe, but yeah, global versus local, that's a good question. Are these plagues like just like in front of the people, or is it like these plagues are happening everywhere?
Yeah. I mean, it certainly reads, you get the sense that it's worldwide. But,
Yeah.
All right. And so then we did look at their death. So the beast from the abyss, probably the Antichrist or the Anti-Spirit. Have you heard about this idea that the Antichrist tries to do an anti-Trinity? So there's the beast, the prophet, and so then I think the Antichrist is like Antichrist, and then the beast is maybe the anti-spirit or something. I don't know. Anyways, the beast from the abyss finally kills them. Once their mission is complete, their bodies are left in Jerusalem. So we're told that it's Egypt and what's the other? Sodom.
Not great places to be called from scriptural standards.
Yeah. But we're told it's actually where Jesus was crucified, so that's in Jerusalem.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's very, very weird. And they celebrate the death of these people who were trying to do good. Hard to imagine in our society that people would celebrate the death of someone.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. And then they are dead for 3.5 days, and this is very symbolic. So you could go through all the numbers, and you'll find that they stand for different things.
I mean, even in what you read, we see 42 months, or your version, I think, did the actual days of that maybe.
Yeah.
1260 days. Like we see even in this passage a lot of different symbolism when it comes to days, or they mean something.
Yeah, and lots of times you'll hear a time
or
times and a half a time, or times and a time and a half a time, and then that all adds up to 3.5. So there's something going on here. I always feel like, I always say there's something going on here because I don't want to thunder on because I don't think you can reasonably. There will be people who will tell you this is exactly what all these things mean, and they have it all nailed down. That's great. I just don't know how well we can know for sure that that's what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's probably wise to try to sketch out the big framework picture and maybe not nail down every single detail.
Yeah.
But then after the 3.5 days,
then they come back to life.
They're coming back,
and people are not happy. They're scared.
Yeah.
And then they does it say that they when they come back to life that they do more judgment and then they're called up?
Yeah, it says they say they heard a voice from heaven saying, "Come up here."
Yeah.
And they went up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies watched them. Followed by an earthquake, 1/10 of the city fell, 7,000 killed. The rest were terrified and gave glory to God of heaven. And then it ends, the second woe has passed.
Yeah.
So on top of these trumpets, we got 3 woes, in here.
Yeah. All right, so the fruit of their ministry, fear, for sure.
There's definitely fear. It would make anyone... and fear's a good motivator.
It can be a good motivator. You don't want it to be the only motivator.
Correct,
But could it be the initial motivator, maybe for some repentance? Are these genuine conversions? Are they temporary?
Right, yeah. That's a good point.
God is pouring out his wrath in hope to extend his mercy. And hope, that's an anthropomorphism, but I think we get it.
Yeah, I like it. We're not getting it to here, there. I know, like chat and dissecting your paper said maybe beginning at 144,000. This is a good question on the literalness revelation. Is it like 144,000? I know that's outside the scope of what we're talking about, but it gets to the complication of the numbers. Is it like a multiple of 12 and so something, or is it like there are, because some people are, as time goes on, that number seems smaller, like a small number.
Yeah, it does seem like a small number. A quick aside, do you know how many people were invited to Bilbo and Frodo's birthday party?
No, 144,000?
Well, not 144,000, just 144. But we'll see, like, even in literature like that, 144 can mean like a fullness, like a complete. Now, at that time, Bilbo was turning 111, Frodo was turning 33. Add them together, you get 144. And so they wanted one for each one of their years. But just say that 144,000 generally means like it's full, like it's complete. And so do I think there's literally 144,000 conversions? Probably more than that.
Probably more, yeah. Because I think some, what is it, the like Seventh-day Adventist or some sort of, like they
Jehovah's
really,
Witnesses.
They really like love this number.
Yeah. And so maybe different ways that you can interpret this, just a fullness of the 12 tribes. Yeah. Maybe it's a fullness of the 12 tribes and the Gentiles. So that's the 12 times 12 put together. We don't know. We just know that it's going to be complete in God's eyes.
Yeah, that's good to get with those broad strokes. So some broader theological reflections. There's this emphasis on witnesses. We see angels all over the Revelation. Here it's like specific in some way. These two witnesses seems like law, prophet, maybe whatever. It seems like there's something significant about that side of things.
Yeah, and God has them die for 3.5 days, assuming literal people. And so it'd be kind of hard to have angels do that. So,
right, yeah, that's a good point too.
They do fulfill the role of the prophets because they are, showing God's judgment and extending His mercy to those who repent. Kind of echoes Christ and
they're even living out this picture kind of in that.
And Lazarus, I couldn't think of the other guy's name, who also came back.
That's right. Yeah.
They're in sackcloth.
Yeah.
Is that stuff even manufactured anymore? I've heard that burlap is like the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Maybe we should bring sackcloth back.
Literally.
Bring it back. We could do it one Sunday.
Yeah. But one of the takeaways you could have is that these people were faithful to God's calling even in tough times. Like they're going to lose their life being obedient.
Yeah.
So all right. Anything on some newer things? So two witnesses could be the law of prophets, Old Testament, New Testament. They could be modern day prophets. Preterist view is it's fulfilled in the first century. Idealist view, they symbolize the church prophetic role across all ages. Literal or symbolic.
These are always tough. And it's like one thing I always kind of go back and forth. I think you can go astray in the literalist interpretation. I could try and nail these on bad. Yeah. Also, idealist, you're almost like stripping any
when you
meaning.
Open that door up, it's like this is like sorry, Clay. The blurry creatures host. The guests are almost always, I feel like they're spot on, but the hosts, they just seem like they'll like try to tie anything that could possibly be, and I think you can swing that too far that way.
So, and so it's like you read Revelation, there's so many different theories, and it's like, I've always heard like Michael Kruger does a good class on Revelation that you can audit at Reformed Theological Seminary, and he kind of falls into this view that's like, hey, maybe we should have an eclectic view, like a little bit here, a little bit. Like you don't want to totally be idealist, but there are probably some idealistic themes.
Right.
Literal. You just got to be. I think he defines it like people have gone wrong when they say literal. Mm-hmm. They literally live and breathe by every number versus like what you were saying. That probably has a problem.
Yeah, and I know we both know someone who's very strong. Exactly 1,000 years.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, in maybe that would make sense back in 100 AD, but it doesn't seem like if we've had 2,000 years of basically Christ not being literally here, it seems like we would have more than 1,000 years. To me, if you really want to fulfill all the Davidic covenant, and you have someone reigning on the throne, and you see like Earth going, and you have people who die at 100, and that seems young.
Right.
It seems like you're going to have it longer than 1,000 if those passages are what they mean.
And I look at something like that 144,000, and I would say probably more than that. Like I would look at that at 1,000-year reign, and I'm okay with like if someone says like Jesus was dead for 3 days. I'm not like, was it 72 hours? You know what I mean? Like there's like,
was it 68 hours? Then that's a lie.
So I think I mean, it's not like, oh, 50 years. But you know what I mean? There's like, like it means something.
If it was 980 years, you might still feel cheated. But if it's 100,000 years, you're not going to feel cheated.
Right. And so it's like, So anyway, all these different views, and I think, some have their merit. Like even, there's a lot of good things about preterist view. Yeah. There's a lot of bad things about that full preterist, obviously, but partial preterist. So it's like you've got these different views. I think a lot of them get some things right. It's hard to, tie it into the perfect view, So
here's where we need to call on our viewers and listeners.
Yeah.
You tell us who they are.
Oh, there you go.
Tell us what you think, and if you got anything good, maybe we'll come back to it. So.
And it's like when you read something like this, you would just hope like you saw these two witnesses walking in. You would. It's just like when you read, there's so much deception and these kind of things. It's like crazy. Because you would think, So anyway, I love it. Revelational, a lot. Throwing a curveball in there, but I like it.
Yeah.
It's good.
So, anything else?
I got nothing else.
All right, that is our take.
Thanks for listening to Take Two. Find us wherever you find podcasts and on YouTube for those who want to watch our videocast.